Welcome to the Off the Podcast. I'm your host Kyle with both my co-hosts for the cinema side of things, Greg and Dan.
How you doing?
Hello.
So, nothing super great in the news except for we got to see the Craven trailer.
Look good.
Which is decent.
Yep, with my heartthrob Russell Crowe.
Now he's fat Russell Crowe, but whatever.
He could get it.
He's not Michael Fassbender, but
Oh no, he's. If I had to
at
make
least
a
not
choice,
for you anyway, right?
Fassbender all the way.
You do have a list, man.
My ever slightly growing list.
I mean, I got one. I have one. And you have like 13.
Yeah, well, you know what,
what's
Greg?
your one?
Ryan Reynolds.
Yeah, and guess what? Ryan Reynolds is not on my list.
I understand why Ryan Reynolds.
Oh, he is a handsome man, but
He
he
is?
just doesn't do me for me.
I just feel like he's funny too. I feel like it's not a shtick for movies. I feel like he's actually like
Just a
a
witty,
funny,
sarcastic person.
Yeah, right.
And he is. So, the other thing I just saw was that Secret Wars, which we just saw the first episode of, is getting pretty low scores on Rotten Tomato.
Why?
I think it's really because it's a very cliched story so far, and
Well, it's gonna start off cliche.
yeah, but on top of it, it's
It doesn't have enough explosions. It doesn't have any.
No, I had quite a
Bang,
bit.
explosion.
Michael Bay.
No, I mean like superhero stuff.
Yeah, there's no super.
Right.
It's not really superhero stuff.
Yeah, but they gotta set
It's just
stuff up.
it's just Nick Fury walking
Yeah.
slowly and being fat. Is that what it is?
Pretty much.
Yeah.
it's more the
It's-
spy thing. It's more of a
it's-
spy.
Yeah, they're not openly outward fighting and stuff. They're
It's-
doing like intel. Like,
yeah,
they're doing,
subterfuge.
yeah, they're
and-
doing like spy things, like he said. They're like following girls. They're like following.
Which
up
is
with
fine
him.
with me. I've seen plenty of spy stuff.
it's the fact is I think one of the things is they're using the secret invasion tag
Yeah, well, yeah, like you said, it's not the actual secret
invasion by
Yeah,
any
right.
means.
Well, the problem with the reason why Secret Invasion couldn't happen norm from the regular comics is because they haven't had the Fantastic Four do the whole thing.
Yeah.
Because the Fantastic Four set up the whole Skrull storyline in the first place. Because they're the one who fought him the first time.
Aren't they? They're coming out with another one, aren't they?
Yeah.
Well, yeah, but I'm
it's
saying
like
was
Oh no, I know. I get what you're
in the
saying,
real
I'm just
comic
saying.
history, the Skrulls were the Fantastic Four first discovered the Skrulls. They tried to infiltrate Earth. Reading them, they stopped them. And then eventually they copied the Fantastic Four's powers and tried
Yeah.
to kill him and all this other stuff.
Yeah.
There's just a lot missing, and I gave you a little rundown of what the
Yeah,
difference
yeah,
was.
you did. You
Is that the
told me
Illuminati
last night.
started the fight between the Skrulls when they
And then the Skrulls ended up getting decimated by the Shi'ar Empire and other space cultures, and they had to come to Earth to take it over because they had no planet left,
yeah.
basically. Because they kept being, dicks
Right.
all the time,
Yeah.
so they got destroyed.
Yeah, Kyle kind of gave me the rundown of it last night after
Yeah,
we watched the
like,
we watched the first episode and they kind of gave me the rundown.
And then I always remember my favorite part of the Secret Invasion is when the Punisher tried to kill Sentry. He didn't really try to kill him. He just threw like hydrochloric acid on him and like distracted him to like steal stuff from
the Sentry's
Green Goblin.
the Marvel's universe version of Superman.
Except he's crazy.
And the Punisher's just the crazy guy with guns and
Right.
military know-how.
right.
Anyway, that has nothing to do with anything. I just like that.
That was your favorite. Mine was the Nick Fury of the Secret Invasion when he showed up on Maria Hill's bedroom. He's like, "Hey, stuff's going down. Just letting you know."
Him in the flying car and Dum Dum
Yeah.
Dugan for some reason.
Yeah, he jumps out of her window at his apartment, and he's got a flying like an old Mercedes Benz, and it flies by and picks him up with his partner, and he takes off, and you don't see him for the rest of the comic book until the end when he's like, "I developed a gun for killing Skrulls." Blah 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 blah.
Almost sounds like a Fast and Furious.
Oh,
What?
Nick Fury was awesome because it was that ridiculous, over the top James Bond stuff that would never really work or make sense, but it just visually good.
Anyway,
So
so it's none of that.
Right.
yeah, it's
But it's a TV show.
I
You have
understand.
to let it set itself up.
Yeah, I understand that.
Yeah.
I'm not judging. I'm just pointing.
I
it
just
out.
don't think they're gonna be able to do it the way.
Well, it's too late. They did it. It's.
I know, but what I'm
it's not like
saying
it's
is-
still in production.
What I'm saying is, by the time we get to the end of the season, I don't think we're gonna get the actual like how it was in the actual Secret Invasion,
No,
where half the superheroes were Skrulls, and
Well, no, and you've already said that it's not gonna happen.
yeah, there's no way. It would be good though. There was some.
Well, what they should do, I think, as far as it goes right now, what they should do is they have the young, like part of the younger generation, and some of the older generation of Skrulls, like it's a civil war amongst.
It is. That's exactly what it is.
Yeah, I understand that. But what they could do is have some subsector of the Skrulls leave Earth, try to create their own thing, and be kind of like the Skrulls would be in the comics.
Yeah.
And that way, when they bring the Fantastic Four back, they can have the Fantastic Four be fighting them again.
Right.
And kind of set up the original storyline. Because Marvel, they were at their best in the movies when they're using the original source material.
Yeah, right.
Instead of screwing around with trying to make up their own thing, which doesn't work, obviously.
Right.
And the most recent comic book stuff has not been good. Because mostly been the only
Where they're like
the only
heavily based
only
off of a lot of
person I
characters.
kind of liked was Ms. Marvel, and they killed her off recently anyway. Granted, the only reason she was good is because of Lockjaw, who's like a teleporting giant bulldog. But still,
Yeah.
still, you know, that's what I think they should do. Because that way, Fantastic Four have a opponent
Well, I mean,
other than Doctor Doom.
I mean, it could go into that direction because right now it is kind of like a civil war between.
Well, that's the
it is kind of a secret war between the younger generation and the older generation in school.
But yeah, the problem I would have with that is that you can't have all young people and all old people. Kind of is weird.
Yeah.
It'd be better if like some of the older people did agreed with the younger people and they kind of mixed that together a little bit.
Well, it's gonna go in that direction. I don't want to give away too much, but it shows that it might go in that direction.
Where they kind of like change sides a little.
Yeah,
With something.
right. Yeah.
Yeah,
which would make it more interesting to me. It's kind of like a civil war, like a long extended civil war mixed with Fantastic Four or something else. Because the Fantastic Four need another villain other than Doctor Doom. They just have to have one because Doctor Doom's impossible to do apparently for these people.
It's hard to do.
It's not that hard.
to
you
do
gotta-
it justice.
You
I
gotta
guess.
not have him be like a weird organic metal guy in the first place.
Oh, like in the first movie.
Just let him have a freaking power suit like Iron Man and have had a little bit of magic, and that's all it is.
Right.
He's half Roma or Gypsy
Yeah.
and half Eastern European. That's all it is. It's a fictional world, country. They already have one that they blew up the only city in.
Right.
What was that one called? From Age of Ultron? I forget what it's called. Anyway.
Something-
Baron Zemo's from there.
Yeah, Strauss Nova or some weird named.
Anyway, so basically they can just add Latveria. It'll be like, I don't know, Luxembourg and Liechtenstein, but in Eastern Europe.
Right.
It doesn't have to be a real country. Who cares? There are plenty of non-real stuff.
Yeah,
like
because Wakanda's a real
Wakanda's real country. So there you go. You can just add a bunch of new countries. Isn't the place where what's her name? Sharon Carter. Isn't that place fictional too?
I do not know.
From the Falcon and Winter Soldier thing?
I have no idea.
I'll have to look that up.
Yeah, so that's about it. We saw Craven. We're all actually interested in seeing Craven.
Because that Johnson guy doesn't look too bad.
No, he looks very much the part.
Madripoor.
Yeah, I think that's not.
Sharon Carter's Madripoor.
Yeah, that's not. That's another fictional place.
So, what I told Greg was when I saw the trailer is they're doing the Venom thing where they're going straight to anti-hero / vigilante stuff instead of him being.
Well, he still can be against Spider-Man because he thinks Spider-Man's, or he's being paid to do it or something. Could be anything.
Yeah, because that's how it started. Is just he was hired by the Kingpin to go hunt Spider-Man, and it was never he was just truly evil. It just he wanted
Plus he's
a
obsessed.
trophy.
Plus he's obsessed with hunting things.
Yeah, and that's so. I guess that's fine. They can go with this where it's a psychological problem brought on by his dad being a douchebag.
Yeah.
Although the little sequence on how he got his connection to animals is really super weird.
A lion dripping blood in his
with
face.
like random herbs just lying around.
Inside of his own, he had a cut. Blood went into.
Yeah,
But then there's like a weird herb involved.
yeah. That was his actual origins.
Yeah, but why aren't more African people having that problem?
Well, they didn't live through a lion attack and have blood dripping.
Yeah, you have to.
But, but
stipulating.
African people lived there for literally 1,000,000 years.
Yeah.
So
And apparently
it
none
should
of
have
them-
happened at least once.
And apparently, see, you have. I'm gonna sound really.
He goes, the first white guy to go to Africa.
Yeah, exactly. That's how it works. That's one of the stipulations.
It's a
for
And it
magic-
had
nerds.
the genetics.
It's
to
the
get it
magical
happen.
white guy.
Yeah,
Then it had
Yeah.
the genetics to have
He's
it
like
happen. Okay.
he's like friggin' Alan Quartermain
yeah, right.
from the League of Extraordinary Gentlemen.
I was gonna say that was a
Africa
stipulation
Africa
that these
won't let
herbs only work on Russian white guys from that happen to get attacked by a lion on a specific day.
the sun wasn't just peaking enough.
Yeah. Oh my god. No, but it's
and you
fun.
also must be abandoned by your father.
yeah.
Yeah,
You
at the time
also
of
that's
your death.
also
Because I made the comment to Kyle earlier. He kind of reminds me of this character named Catman, who has a connection to animals.
Yeah.
He was like a joke version of Batman, except he was a Catman. You know, he had a Catmobile and all that stuff.
Yeah.
But then they got rid of all that, and he just became like a hardcore Conan the Barbarian, like cat lover guy.
yeah. He was crazy.
He was kind of crazy.
It was interesting.
But he could talk to cats and stuff.
Yeah, and the other thing I'm weirded out with is how they're going to do the Rhino in this. Like you said, it looks like he's either like a Bane thing, where he
has-
injects himself with the stuff to make himself become the Rhino,
or it's just like a transform.
it's a transformation. Where I like
He's like a werewolf, but a were-rhino, I guess.
yeah.
It's weird.
I was hoping more for just the guy in the super indestructible suit.
Who's really kind of dumb.
Yeah, who's really just dumb.
He's also Russian.
Yeah, who is also Russian. There's a lot of Russian people in
Well, because it
Spider-Man
was the
stuff.
Cold War.
Yeah,
Half the villains are Russians
or Germans. There was
German.
Chameleon was German.
Oh, I actually think it makes sense.
That's because of World War
it makes
II.
sense for the times. Yeah. Right.
Yeah. But I'm just saying, it was just when you really think about it, like the guy who played Sandman also was, I think, Russian at one point. His family was from Russia.
There's a couple of different versions of him.
Yeah. So, I mean, like we said, we all want to see it, so I'm really glad that we are all united on that front. The Flash is not getting great reviews.
Well,
It's also part. I think.
But how much is it?
there's
the movie?
also a picket line right now against it because of Ezra Miller.
Yeah. So how much of it is the movie sucks, or is it?
There is an incredible amount of boycotts lately, though, for
So,
various things.
I would say there's probably a little bit of both. It's not getting great reviews, but I also didn't hear that it was horrible. But I also did hear that they got big fucking picket lines that they're refusing to see it. When I get it, because Ezra Miller is being
Is a douchebag.
Yeah, right. So
Well, they want to try to encourage them not to rehire him for future stuff.
Yeah. Well, we'll see how this goes.
well, DC area.
Warner Brothers.
Warner Bros. Announced that if it did well, they were going to do a Michael Keaton Batman Beyond movie. But as of right now, because it's not doing well,
Michael Keaton has nothing to do with why people don't like that movie.
probably coming off of the.
Michael Keaton can do no wrong.
Yeah.
It's
I agree-
all Ezra Miller's fault.
I agree that I believe a Michael Keaton Batman movie would probably succeed.
Especially Batman Beyond.
So
Because you have him as the old guy.
No,
As Bruce Wayne.
yes, that was the plan.
And then who would you get as Terry McGinnis, though?
Could be anybody.
Yeah, it could be any young
As long
kid.
as they're good at acting.
Yeah, any young kid between
Who has dark hair.
who's dark hair and kind of looks like Michael Keaton maybe a little bit.
But that was the plan. If the Flash did well, they had a plan that if the Flash did well, they were going to do a Michael Keaton Batman Beyond.
But you don't even have to have the Flash do well because they know for certain it's not Michael Keaton's fault. If they're boycotting it because of Ezra Miller,
that's what it is. It's not because of Michael Keaton.
Yeah.
yeah, and like Michael Shannon, he's not the problem either. He's a good Zod,
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
and I don't know who's playing Supergirl. I really don't care about.
I
her
don't know
yet.
who she is, but from what I hear, that
She's
a lot
fine.
yeah, a lot of people say she's decent.
She's fine. I just
It's Ezra. The main thing is Ezra Miller.
Yeah.
That's the.
So,
so
public service announcement.
What I was questioning is why they're tying the success of a Flash movie, which is Ezra Miller's fault, to Michael Keaton.
well, I think. Here's what I think, and
Okay.
I didn't read nothing on that, so I don't know if this is true or not.
okay.
I think that they thought, okay, we have a problem with Ezra Miller, and that's fine, but we're gonna bring back a main person from a lot of these guys' childhoods.
Mhm.
Michael Keaton for
Yeah.
Batman. So they were hoping that it was going to offset.
And I think when they first announced it was until all the stuff with Ezra Miller came out. And I think now that they said it like that is like a pigeonhole, like, oh, if you don't want to see Michael Keaton not get another role,
Yeah, right.
you better go watch this movie. Even
Right.
So it's like a weird underhanded blackmail concept.
yeah.
I think
That's what it kinda-
I think that they thought people would overlook it because of Michael Keaton, and they're finding out right now that that's not the.
No, the way I think they're more thinking of the way I'm thinking of it is that I'm not watching it because of Ezra Miller, but I don't blame you, Michael.
No, yeah.
Either Michael
No, that's what.
or whatever the other lady's name is.
Well,
Yeah.
no, we all think that way, but I think that was their plan. Like, okay,
Their plan was
their plan
like
was,
to do
all right.
either a blackmail or
their plan.
something.
Yeah, right. Their plan was, okay, we have Ezra Miller, but we're gonna give you Michael Keaton.
yeah. And if you support us, even though we made a bad decision,
Right.
we'll give you more Michael Keaton.
Right. I agree with you. I believe that Michael Keaton as a Batman Beyond would be a hit movie.
That's actually a show I would tell you to go to watch. You never really watched the Batman animated series, did you?
animated series?
Yeah.
When we were kids, yeah.
Yeah. Watch the Batman Beyond. He kills a lot of his villains.
And there's a lot more violent gangs in that one.
Yeah,
actually.
it's a lot darker tone.
Because the Joker in the regular series tends to grandstand a lot and stand there, and once in a while he kills a guy, but it's a lot of talking. Whereas in the Batman Beyond, there's a lot more violence, a lot more shooting people, throwing them off buildings,
Yeah, his villains are all
blowing people up.
He's only got like 2, maybe 3 villains that live.
Because I watched it with you one time, and out of the first 10 episodes, the villain only lived like twice.
Yeah.
Because they're all throwaway villains.
like his first villain, the outside like the beginning episode where it was just some podunk muscle guy, was a guy called Shriek, and after the first episode he was permanently deafened. Like he blew out his own eardrums and permanently like crippled himself. And then the next time you see him, then he re-cripples himself even worse, and like gives himself like a jelly brain because he uses like hypersonic vibrations to like blow stuff up.
Yeah.
So first time Terry reverberated back on it, blew out his eardrums. Like blew his ear canals, everything. Like they were destroyed. So then he created like robotic ears for himself. And then Terry reversed it again at some point, and then the vibrations went on inside his head and like lobotomized him because they like vibrated his brain. So there was that one, and then one after that was a guy who was using like a ghost belt. It would like make him intangible, and he used it so much that his body started like becoming intangible on its own, and then he fell through the center of the earth and died. Like he killed a lot of his villains, or they kill themselves.
Well, I mean, it's always been known that Batman is one of the more violent
yeah.
heroes, I guess.
Yes, but the difference between Batman Beyond and regular Batman is Batman will just break all your bones and leave you in a hospital.
No, we're talking about Terry McGinnis.
Terry McGinnis will like
okay.
literally
Not
like
Bruce Wayne.
All right.
yeah, because Bruce Wayne will still try to save you 99% of the time. Terry McGinnis is like, bye.
Technically, if you want to be technical about it, I think Bruce might be a little bit more cruel. Because he
By
will
leaving
cripple
him.
you
Yeah,
and not
he leaves
kill
him
you.
alive
Right.
to suffer.
Every time,
You know what I mean?
every time I think of Batman and crippling, I often think of his robot chicken.
Oh, with
Where
the
he-
Bane, the whole episode.
He breaks
Do
his
do 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 do.
like where he
That's
breaks his
Bane.
back, and he's like, "You all just watched him do it. Boo on
He
you!"
walked right into the Justice League headquarters and cracked his back right in the middle of the
And he's
meeting.
like, "You all just sat there and watched him do it.
Boo
Boo
on you.
on you."
This is the 4th time he does it. He's like, haven't you ever heard of the fucking rule of 3?
Oh man, that's all I can think of when I think of it.
And then I was thinking about that episode, and then they have like later in the episode where they have the Bat Hound. And then all of a sudden there's a Bane Hound comes up and snaps his
Snap
back.
the dog. Yeah.
Oh, it's so funny.
He gets picked up. He's like, "Wait. Oh, you all just watched him walk right."
I felt my heels touch the back of my head on that one. It's like firecrackers going off in my back.
Oh,
my
man.
god. Oh.
That's the
The one in the Justice League, though, he comes back on crutches, right?
Yeah, he's all because
He's like-
it was the third time. It was the third time he's like, miraculously, I'm recovering faster than ever. Bane can't keep me down. He's all shaking, and you're jump, 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 snap. He goes, Eddie, you could have stopped that.
You just watched him come right in here and do it. Boo on you.
So funny, so good.
Oh man.
So
My first thing thinking about break was like they were seeing Under the Red Hood.
I have, yes.
Well, anyway, there's one time he goes to the Joker thinking the Joker was the guy killing these drug dealers and stuff,
Oh, yeah.
but it wasn't him. He goes and he starts squeezing his neck. He goes, "Are you gonna do it this time, or are you just gonna put me in another body cast for 6 months?" And I'm like, "Yeah, body cast for 6 months. Yep. I wonder how many times that happened to the Joker."
A lot. So we have. Unfortunately, I don't think we're gonna get the Batman Beyond movie.
I don't think so either, but it's unfortunate because it should have had nothing to do with.
Ezra.
I was
Miller.
excited to see Michael Keaton as Batman again.
Yeah.
And when I seen the trailers and I seen them reveal Michael Keaton, I
Yeah.
was like, hell yeah.
Even though it's a different guy doing all the flying around stuff and it's very
Well, yeah.
computer
obviously.
focused, I was like, Michael Keaton's not gonna be able to even remotely move like that.
No.
But it was still,
Yeah, Ben Affleck did all his stunts too. I'm sure.
yeah, totally. He was there.
Yeah. I'm sure the emo Batman did too.
I was waiting for the next Ben
Oh my
Affleck
God.
Batman.
I could go
Have,
over that all the time.
Who is it? Matt Damon as Robin. Matt Damon.
Matt Damon. That's a good one too.
Oh my god.
But yeah, unfortunately, and it would have stood on its own. They didn't need to put him. They didn't even need to put him in the Flash to do it.
I mean, in the Flashpoint Paradox, it is actually he's a very key role, but that's a different.
Is he actually Bruce Wayne in this?
Yeah, he's
Yeah.
Bruce Wayne in this. Not
It's
he's not
Thomas Wayne.
Yeah.
In
Well,
the Flash-
we talked about this. Instead of Bruce getting killed, instead of his parents getting killed, Bruce
Yes,
gets killed.
Correct. Yeah. Right.
His mom becomes Joker.
Yeah.
Dad becomes Batman, but also runs all the crime through the
Yeah,
Penguin.
no, he's Bruce Wayne in the Flash.
Yeah.
That's
So-
disappointing.
It is. So then, let's see. Let's go over stuff we watched now. We'll start with me and Greg. We just finished From, which is the vampire version of The Walking Dead so far.
Yeah, I can't argue that.
It
has a good plot. There's just not enough action.
There's not enough going on.
Yeah.
Which that's like The Walking Dead was very simple, so it was like you didn't have to explain zombies in The Walking Dead, so you had to deal with other people's lives. Where this one's focused on other people's lives, but there's a greater mystery, like why is there vampires?
Why are they stuck where they're at?
Yeah,
right.
like they need to focus more on that instead of, the lives of these people, because I kind of don't care about their lives until later.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I don't. I was alright with, I was okay with not seeing a lot of action right away. Like, I get that you gotta build a story, like we were talking about with Secret Invasion.
Yeah.
Like, I understand you have to build a story, but, we got, 2 episodes of action.
Yeah.
Out of 10 episodes.
And everything else was the relationships between everyone.
Yeah, right.
And that's just not great.
It has a good plot. I mean, I don't. You said maybe not. I might delve into season 2 on my own to see what it's like, but.
Well, for me, we have to get another trial or whatever you need for it.
Right.
But
Well,
it's not free on Prime.
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
I got my thing.
You got your sources. So, if you watch the first 2 episodes and say, hey, Kyle, you need to see this, I'll watch it. But I'd say 6 to 7 out of 10 for me.
Yeah, I'd say it's about a 6 or 7. If it was
there's-
more action, it'd be a solid 7.
Yeah, and more of, the creatures. And then they said there's worse things out there.
Hey,
You've
that's
never seen anything
has one of
worse.
the black guys from the Matrix in it.
Really? Oh, the new Matrix, right?
No, one of the old movies. Harold Perrineau was in the Matrix.
Oh, who was he?
I forget. He was one of the technicians.
Oh, then it would be Dozer.
Not him, the black guy. Dozer was the half black kid,
Oh,
wasn't it?
With the short hair,
I have to look it up.
yeah, look it up. Do some work, man.
I am doing something.
yeah. I would give it. If it had more action, it'd be a solid 10 or a solid 7, not 10.
I'm pushing a 7 just out of intrigue.
He was from Matrix Lord and Matrix Revolutions. He was a character called Link.
Link.
Oh, he was the third brother after Dozer and the other guy died.
Oh yeah.
He joined them.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's in the second one.
Yeah, that's what I said.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's the sheriff, right?
Yes, that's the guy who plays the sheriff.
He looks so different now.
Well, I mean, he's a lot older.
That's true.
Jeez.
So
He's 59 years old.
Yeah,
dude.
right.
fair enough.
He started his career in the early 90s. So, yes.
I mean, it has a good story. I mean, there's people that irritate both of us. You hate the daughter. You hate her.
She's so
Every time she comes on the
dumb.
screen, I hear you go, oh.
It's because her storyline sucks.
It is dumb.
I'm gonna rebel against my parents for no reason. And then she goes, "Oh, it's because you guys are getting a divorce." Okay, great backstory talent right there.
Yeah.
Then it went to, I think I might be gay, and then there was like, done with that.
Yeah. That ended quickly.
So it was just weird.
So she just walked up to her parents
No.
and said really loudly, "I might be gay."
No. So when you
I don't think I'm gay now.
so
I wish that would have been maybe. I think that would have been a lot more just interesting to watch at that point than this.
So what happens is you get trapped. They don't know where they're at. So you figure out that there's a whole crap load of people, and everyone comes from a different part of the country.
Mm-hmm.
They were all driving on a road, and then somehow ended up in this backcountry place where you can't get out of. So you drive in circles every time you go out of the city, the town. You come right back in. So you have to choose. There's like a fraction in the town.
Yeah, there's two factions.
And there's like the one that it's like a party house.
Right.
So you're like, you can choose to live in the party house where
they drink and do whatever
drink
they
and
want.
party and have sex whenever they want and do whatever they want.
Like a commune. It's like a giant commune.
It's like a big giant. It's like a giant college
dorm
frat house.
Frat
Yeah.
house. I gotcha.
So and then
your idea of what a commune is really weird.
The other faction. The other
like
faction
a hippie
is
commune.
the other faction is pretty much like a normal. You pick a house in the town.
Mm-hmm.
You obey the rules.
You obey the rules. You do what you're supposed to do. Whatever. Well, this family chooses to obviously get their own little house because they don't want, it's a family. They don't want to live in a frat house.
Yeah,
Well,
they spent the first 2 nights there because they got trapped there.
Yeah, right.
And which cracked me up because when they first show them the first night in the house, they're no further me to you. And where I'm sitting at, there's 2 ugly people having sex on the couch.
They're sleeping on the floor, and then there's people on the couch right next to them while they're sleeping, just
having
going
sex.
at it. And I'm like, all right.
That's something.
So, anyways, you have to choose.
Right.
And what you choose is set in stone.
Oh, okay.
That's what.
So the family, the mom, the dad.
Is that a rule of the town or rule of the universe?
The rule of the town.
So the mom and the dad obviously choose they want to live in a house.
Uh-huh.
And she has a younger brother that's 9, so he has no choice. So they're like, we're living in a house, and the girl at the last second before it's ruled goes, I'm living in the frat house.
How old is this kid?
She's 15.
No, she's 16 or something.
15 or 16.
Oh wow, no difference. Okay, great.
So,
but it was out of nowhere. Because the whole movie beforehand, they were all a happy-ish family. Nothing there was no real tension between them. She was kind of being a dick to her
she
brother.
doesn't show any tension.
Yeah,
but she's being a normal big sister.
Yeah.
She's telling him scary things.
So it's standard bad writing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Where the characters, I've been reading a lot of novels, and they have the same problem in novels now, where they basically have a character having a certain point of view, and then in the next chapter they just go do a 180 and decide to do something totally against their nature for no reason.
Yeah.
So after she picks the party house, she's there for a couple days, and the one girl
she befriends the one girl
who's
she's a hippie chick.
Yeah, she's one of the main characters' girlfriends. Well, what you find out is they kind of have the pansexual free love thing, whatever. And when it was her birthday, celebrating the 1 year of her being there in the town with them and that little hippie house, some chick walks up to her and starts making out with her immediately.
Mhm.
and
like walks away, and the girl sees it, and she gets really weird, walks away.
yeah, she's like, what? And then
Then later on, they're alone, and she goes, "Can I ask you something?" You know, and she goes,
What
"Yeah,
was-
what's up?" She goes, "The lady that kissed you." She goes, "Oh yeah, so and so."
yeah, she's somebody I have fun with, but I'm technically with such and such. And then all of a sudden she goes, "Can I kiss you?"
Yeah, right.
And,
And then
she's
the-
like,
and then the-
That's the way she said it.
Yeah,
yeah,
that's exactly how
like
she said
really
it.
awkward.
So why didn't they? So basically, the way I said the thing before, except only about a kiss.
Yeah,
Yeah.
she's like, "Can I kiss you?" And the chick's like,
Why? Okay, what it should have been. It should have been like I said. I think I might be gay, and then
That would have
and
been
then
more
go into the
interesting.
next room, then come back in. I don't think I'm gay.
Yeah.
So, anyways, Kyle says the girl kind of hesitates. She's like, you know,
like that's
and-
weird.
And then the girl.
How is it weird? You're in a weird pansexual house thing.
No, but it was like, it was just like one of those things like, she just being asked like, if you're like into women, and then just some random woman you have no idea who anything about her, and she's like severely younger, that goes, "Can I kiss you?" Like, even if you are that way, that's still kind
I
of awkward.
really
'cause
don't-
it's-
This is.
So anyway.
So what happens?
So that's what I was
what's
trying
the
to
risk-
get to. The girl runs out. She's like, "Oh no, just forget what I said," and the girl runs out.
Then she gets hurt feelings, and it's
And then that's it.
yeah.
It's never brought up again.
It's just like, then she's like, "I'm about my family and my dad and stuff."
Yeah,
all of a
right.
sudden.
And the person that's the object of her attempts at a kiss didn't say nothing.
No.
No.
She didn't go, honey, what's happening?
No.
here?"
Yeah,
no. She kind of like hesitated. She said, and like got a weird look on her face, and that's when the girl was like, "Never mind," and she runs out.
yeah, it was like, I feel like they wanted.
What they should have did was have her go after her immediately and then ask her what the hell is happening.
That's what they
Yeah.
should have done. But
Like,
they didn't.
hey, listen.
It was just a one-off. Never heard of it again.
I think that was a pandering moment. Let's just hit this demographic and move on.
Yeah.
If they really wanted to hit
was
it, they should have hit it.
That was a good episode though, because that was when the vampires got in the house and started ripping everybody apart.
It hurt. Yeah, that was a good episode. So then,
So it's like The Walking Dead with vampires, except it's not The Walking Dead with vampires.
exactly.
Yeah.
Because The Walking Dead doesn't have a weird loop village thing
Yeah,
you can't
it's
get out
magical
of.
Walking Dead.
So it's kind of like The Mist,
Yes, kind of.
you know, that Stephen King thing.
Yeah.
Except that that's not deadly, but still.
Yeah. So
Is it deadly?
no.
No. You just can't. It
There's
is.
creatures in the mist. Isn't
Yeah. Well, no.
Or is it more like Silent Hill?
We haven't seen any creatures yet. We haven't seen
Well,
any
except
other creatures
vampires.
Yet. Yeah, that's it. And they don't come out at night and they just rip everybody apart. But I will say their look when they transform into their like ghoulish forms is awesome looking. When they get the smooth, like weird baby head things going on. When they turn into feral. Like they don't just stay.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, you know what I mean? When they
Yeah.
ripped into the guy.
Yeah.
Like
yeah.
they look normal and then all of a sudden they turn into like.
Do they literally have baby heads?
They kind of look like.
No, they look.
You remember that weird clone Damien from that one Batman line?
Yeah, no, not quite
It's
like
not
that.
like that?
Not quite.
Okay.
It's not. That. They look. In their human forms, they just look
Like normal people.
uncanny.
hmm
They don't look. They look like a human, but they don't look like a human. It's
Right.
really. It's really weird to explain.
Yeah, I'm trying to look that up.
Because there was a Batman arc where Damian Wayne got cloned by his mother again, except for some reason it was like a grown man's body with like a baby face, and he wore a mask. It was
Yeah,
weird.
no, something like that.
It was weird.
Yeah, I'll find it, but it was all right.
It's an alright series. Like I said, if it had more action, more vampires, it would be for me, it'd be a solid set.
Focus more on the vampires, less on the internal drama of everybody.
Yeah, right.
So it's really not. It's not really much of a supernatural show in the sense that it's a part of the plot.
It is.
It creates the setting because you can't leave, but
Right.
it doesn't actually.
Well, they're
focus on
haunted
it.
every night, so every night they have to be in. They can't be outside in the dark.
So, but they usually can't get in the house for some
Yeah,
reason.
because the one guy found talismans that keep them at bay. As long as you don't
used
let
to be
them
able to
in.
get, they used it's the same vampire lore. You have to invite them in.
Oh, so it's traditional stuff, not modern stuff.
But they could break into the house until they got the talismans.
Yes, they could get into the house. They could still get in, But then I got these talismans that they hang in front of their doors and stuff.
No, so
And it creates a barrier where they have to be let in.
so it's
Right.
more like Silent Hill kind of.
Yeah, it's weird. So
Anyway,
that one was okay. It was. We'll see what happens. Like you said, you're gonna probably get into season 2 and then let me know.
Yeah.
Me and you, Dan, we watched both seasons of Vox Machina.
yeah.
What did you think?
It's I think it's a little bit too dependent on the whole
D&D.
thing where it's like a D&D party
Can you grab me a
See-
Rebel, Dan? Greg?
Yeah.
because it's kind of playing on fandom of the game a little much sometimes.
Yeah.
And also the tactic, to me, watching it as a player, I'm like, their tactics would never work.
No. But
Because they don't even have a tank. How is that going to work?
They have Grog.
Grog's not a tank. He just gets knocked around all the time, and he doesn't gain anybody's attention. The dragon was just whooping their butt until they got lucky. That was killing me. Like, how long is it going to take you to figure this out?
Yeah. I enjoyed it just because.
I do like the part when they freaking cut out of his torso and it didn't kill him for some reason.
Right.
I like the characterization,
Yeah, the characters are great. Like,
and the animation's nice, and I do like the team dynamic, and the humor's good, but it's just their composition just doesn't make any sense.
for
There's
D-
too many little guys and too many. Thank you, Greg.
Yep.
There's too many little guys, and there's only one fighter. Because like as soon as Grog gets out of the party, they don't know what to do.
Yeah, they're like,
Look, I have a Knight of Death, but he only uses daggers for some reason, right? And then they have a druid who half the time doesn't know what she's doing. But when she turns into a fire thing, that was pretty sweet. But then she gets like the one time she did, she got bitten by the dragon and didn't when she went out. I'm like, okay.
yeah.
She's knocked out half the time. So I'm like, how are they alive? I don't get it.
They're lucky. That's one
They
of
are incredible. They're like the Punisher. Lucky.
Yeah. I mean, I figured you'd enjoy it. I didn't figure
It's
you'd be like,
nice.
I
I like
didn't think
it.
it'd be like, oh, it's my number one show.
I like it. It's just like I said when I looked up, and I was looking up if anything was based on role playing game group, because that's what the Legend of Vox Machina is based on. It's like a D&D group and their campaign they ran. Basically, there's a one anime called The Record of Lodoss War, where this guy wrote a bunch of novels. He's from Japan about him having a role playing game group in the 70s. So they had like 30 years of content from that guy. So that's where they got that idea from. It's been around for a long time.
Yeah.
So, and because I watched that when I was like 12.
Yeah, it was. And the new season's coming out here soon. I looked up that. I looked up a show me and you watch. I can't remember which one it is.
Basically, the gist of it is I wish they would kind of get their stuff together a little better.
Yeah.
It gets on my nerves slightly.
What show?
I'm trying to think because I was looking up a bunch of shows that we watched before, and we've been waiting for another season on. So I have to go back and look.
Well,
What was it about?
yeah, right.
I'm trying. I can't remember because I looked up a bunch of shows. I looked up Vox Machina next season of that. I looked up.
Well, What We Do in the Shadows is coming out here soon.
Yep, I looked that up too. I forgot to finish looking up to see the next season of Spy X Family.
The new season of Futurama comes out here, July.
Futurama's still around? Coming back?
They're coming
They're
back.
coming back. Hulu got a contract with them to bring them back for, I think it was 30 episodes, so 2 seasons or something like that. 2
wow.
or 3 seasons.
Pretty
They
good.
got all the originals back to do the original voices.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
Oh, new season of Archer coming out here soon.
Oh.
Archer's passe. I don't know what you're talking about. It's over.
Yeah, we'll see how this.
Because the only good, like I said, the first 6 seasons had the perfect dynamic, and then they went to the coma stuff,
That's
and then they
The
came.
coma stuff was garbage.
I know. And
well,
then,
the first season where he was having the noir detective one was fine.
Yeah. I get that one.
It was
alright.
still a
The
step
rest of
down.
the rest of them were.
The other 2 were terrible.
Yeah.
And then when
The
he
one
got
in space was trash.
And then when they had the one where he came back and he had the tactical cane and everyone was doing so much better without him.
That was pretty good because it was basically the same dynamic except he was like a Debbie Downer
Well,
because he couldn't do anything
he
anymore.
pretty much found out that he was the dick.
Yeah, he's the problem with the team.
Right.
Everyone knew that.
Well, everyone knew it, but they didn't know to the extent that he
Until he
affected
was
them.
gone,
Yeah,
yeah.
right.
And then
right.
they're all better people, but then they're also happy to have him back because now they can be shitty people.
And
Because
enjoy
no matter how
themselves
shitty
more.
they
Right,
are.
now they can be trash again and still be better than him.
Right.
So they can be shitty.
Yeah,
and-
right, correct.
Because the first 6 seasons were like, my favorite characters were Cheryl and Pam.
They are hilarious. Cheryl
They're
and Pam are hilarious.
like Cheryl's like good at things for no reason, even though she doesn't have a brain anymore. And Pam just beats people up
Yeah,
and
like
just
she's
drinks.
like super good fighter, and she's like,
for no reason.
and she's always got like the connections.
She was in the Yakuza.
Yeah, she was in the Yakuza
She
for a
was
little
in the
bit,
Yakuza.
and then she also
she was like fighting for him in the underground fighting
Right.
ring. She was like beating the shit out of people.
that was a fight club, and then she was
Yeah,
doing the
right.
races with the Yakuza, and then she got into she went to that nightclub, and they're like the head bouncer and the head of security's like, do not drink with her. You cannot keep up with her. You'll die. And so like the last
What's her name? Cheryl always had the choking thing. People would grab her by the neck, she's like, "Oh yeah," and they're like, "Ew."
Because I was looking at some of the like character design for the Dream ones, and they're pretty. The animation's okay,
it looks great.
and the
Yeah.
ideas they had for the characters were okay, but the
story
plots
line-
were
the
ridiculous.
storyline was dumb.
Yeah. I liked with Cheryl. I find it really disturbing that you get aroused by physical abuse. She goes, and emotional abuse. And he's like, shut up. He goes, oh yeah, that's enough to get the motor running. I was like, oh my god. So that was good. I like the breakdown after the coma of Cyril. Like when Archer was out of coma, he was like all muscled out and he was like doing great. He was the best spy.
And then they had the spy hunter guy who pretended to be Archer's valet, and then Archer thought he was trying to kill him, but he wasn't trying to kill him. Trying to kill Cyril because Cyril's the best agent.
Right.
Because he was the one.
And then he gets all jealous and mad.
in the first
and then
episode,
tries to kill Cyril.
Yeah,
so
right. Yeah.
because in the first episode of the
I did
season,
like
he was
Woodhouse.
like jumping over freaking fences and stuff.
I liked Woodhouse.
Yeah,
he was good too.
I liked Woodhouse. He was like, Woodhouse.
Maybe I should just run away. But who would take you, Woodhouse? No one.
He's always ODing in the bathroom.
He's like,
Yeah, like
Because
he's
of
trying
the-
to call him and he's sitting there going,
he's trying to call him for like an extraction or something. And
he's
Woodhouse
like
is
sitting there going,
bathroom passed out.
because the first time Archer figures that out was the episode where he thought he was the baby daddy of a hooker,
Yes. Yeah.
and then his mom's like, Woodhouse, go get your spoon cooker or whatever he said.
yeah.
And he goes, he's a heroin addict. He goes,
No, he goes, Woodhouse, lighter. He goes, I'm only 80 pounds soaking wet, sir. No, your spoon cooker. Oh, here you go. There was so much great dynamics. And
Like,
then
the first few seasons are great. They're great.
now, like, there's a lot of good episodes from the later seasons, like when they were in the CIA and they had to go up the mountain to do the assassination on the guy, and Archer's like, he's part of the Axis power, and then you find out the guy's from Ireland, and there's like, what's that have to do with the Axis, Archer? Weren't they on the Nazi side? No, they were neutral. Oh, like he was, because they were
I like
both attracted to the guy, Crash McCarran. Would you be super upset if I had sex with him? Yes.
Archer wasn't attracted to him. It was freaking Ray.
Lana and Ray.
Well, who was
Because Archer informs him while they're in the tent. He goes, it wouldn't be someone who forgets the gum and also black.
He was attracted to that one guy. What was it? The first or second season? The lacrosse. He was like playing lacrosse with him and shit.
Oh. There was the other agent guy that they were like
Yeah.
best friends.
Yeah.
And he wasn't
He
attracted
was
to him.
attracted. The
The
other
other
guy
guy was
had a
attracted to
singular same-sex attraction
Attraction
to Archer.
Oh, okay.
He's like-
I got it mixed up.
And he
then.
kidnapped them and drugged them so they could start a bed and breakfast together.
Mhm.
Yes, that's the one.
He
I had
faked
it backwards
he
in my
faked
head.
his death,
Yes,
stole about
yep.
a couple $1 million.
Now there was Ramon where he kissed Ramon when he died. Remember when he was shot up?
Yeah. I always liked the one where Lana always ripped the guy's hand off.
Oh,
The-
Conway Stern. Thanks for the read, Velma.
I like the part he's gonna win the helicopter. She like grabs his hand and he's like, "Why the hell aren't we going?"
He goes, "How are your hands that strong?" And then the next time he's standing with his hand like in a window, and she slams the door shut on his hand. On his other hand, now he's got two
He's
robot
like falling
hands.
down and he's like, "What?"
Yeah.
This is my name is my Conway Stern, which is my real name.
And then the last one when he's fighting Pam and he's beating her up, and then he gets his foot cut off because Archer shoots the glass out and a giant pain falls on his leg and cuts his leg off. And he's like, "This hurts way worse." And he's crawling away and goes, "You haven't heard the last of Conway Stern. Is that my real name? I'll never tell."
The first, like I said, I love the first bunch of seasons.
So what I was saying basically is the original dynamic works. That's why the ones after the coma are pretty good.
Yeah, because they went back to the...
Right, but now it's a new thing where Archer's obviously the dunce. He's an idiot savant.
He's always been an idiot savant.
What?
Right, I know that, but they didn't know that
Right.
until afterwards.
Yeah. Now, the next season's going to be interesting because...
Danger zone.
The next one, because...
And she doesn't
Like-
even know who Kenny Loggins was
Right?
when he was saying it.
Because how they ended the last season was
I didn't even.
Mallory left because the actress died, so they got rid of Mallory.
His mom.
Yeah, so she's no longer part of it because the actress actually died.
Right.
So
They have like a new the
Then-
IAF or
yeah,
whatever.
they got controlled by another spy agency. Archer and them captured him, like defeated them from the internal, and then like sold him to like Interpol and stuff.
I mean, I guess I can catch up and watch, but
Just skip the coma stuff. Just skip the coma stuff. Go right to the next season. You'd like it.
Basically, he was just in a coma for three years. Somehow,
I seen the season where he came back with the cane and Lana was with the rich dude. And,
Yeah, that gets good in some parts.
the last one we saw was it was an airplane hijacking where they never left the ground for some reason, and they told him straight up, "Why didn't you wait until we got into the air? If we're on the ground, we can get a bunch of SWAT teams at us." And basically, the hero, the one cop who like was going through
This
his
is the
divorce,
hostage negotiator.
he's like, "I don't really care what the fuck happened. I'm gonna send in all my guys. I don't give a shit if some civilians die or not.
I'm going to kill you, scum.
and kill you all." And then one other guy's like, "So, how's the divorce proceedings going?" And then they go through all this shit from these environmental guys with like plastic zip guns and stuff. And then he like breaks, like the one last guy, he breaks through the front windshield and kicks him right in the face.
Like-
and he gets all the credit.
It's crazy.
Anyway.
Oh, so the what happens is like Archer becomes more self-aware of his selfishness, and he goes. They're fighting to see who's going to be the boss now that Mallory's gone, and they got rid of the ISA, which was the other spy agency. And Archer's like, "Hey, Lana, why don't you be the boss? I'll let you be the boss." And then she's like, "Thanks, Archer. I really appreciate that." He goes, "Yeah, because I don't want the responsibility. I want to be out in the field and drinking and doing whatever I want."
Yeah, right.
And then she goes, "You know, you could have still done that as the boss." He goes, "Can I have the chair back?" She goes, "No, not now." Like finders keepers. It's so good. There's a couple good episodes. There's a couple long-winded.
Where the hell did the kid go anyway?
AJ?
Uh-huh.
She was around. There's an episode with her. A couple episodes with
Oh,
her.
I remember the one with Pam as the babysitter or the nanny or whatever. Is that what you're talking about?
There's the first one where she's little, and when they go to kidnap her, Pam like becomes like a pseudo gorilla and like hooks her into her bra and running around like a gorilla, trying to protect her when she was a baby. And then there's one when she's older.
Well, I remember when they were messing with like technology or something, and Pam was like, "I'm the best aunt ever," or whatever the hell it
Yeah,
was.
she goes, "I'm not calling you Aunt Pammy." Yeah, because there's one where she's older, like a preteen. She's like 12, and she's exactly like a perfect combination of Lana and Archer. Like
She's super smart, super good at what she does, but she
yeah.
doesn't really care
like
about morals.
she picks a super lock with a hairpin. She goes, it opens up right away. They're like, "How'd you even do that?" She goes, "Well, my mom always keeps one on, and I'm just lucky like that." So it's like prepared like Lana always is, but super lucky at everything.
Like Archer.
And then she starts shooting with them. She pulls out a gun, just shoots like super great. They're like, "Great grouping." She goes, "Grandmother Archer always told me to be prepared." And she goes, she taught me how to shoot every year, except for that year we were in the UK because they gave up their right to arms and stuff like that, and just all this elitist stuff that Mallory believed.
Because they gave up their rights to arms.
Oh, it's so great. It was a great. Oh. So watch that. We watched The Boogeyman.
Yep. We watched The Boogeyman. We watched Guardians of the
Galaxy 3.
Guardians of the Galaxy 3.
Let's go with Guardians of the Galaxy 3 because The Boogeyman is just kind of generic horror movie. Nothing great. Nothing.
It had a good storyline.
Yeah.
The problem is it didn't have enough of the
monster.
Yeah. And other than that,
That seems like a theme this time.
yeah.
Yeah. I mean,
Like From
not
didn't-
enough of the main thing.
From didn't have enough
Yeah, pretty
like
much.
vampires or stuff.
Same thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
So Guardians of the Galaxy 3. You watched the other two, correct?
Yes.
Okay.
Guardians of the Galaxy is the only one I really liked. Of like all of the Marvel movies, superhero movies, whatever you want to call them, Guardians of the Galaxy is like my favorite.
Okay.
Like the Marvel.
The Marvel movies, yeah.
Not
right.
Deadpool.
Oh, I love Deadpool. Deadpool's my favorite.
He's technically Marvel, but not by Disney.
Right. Yes.
Is that what you mean?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay. So
Wasn't sure.
Until we see this third one, we'll see where that's going.
Yeah. There was a lot of good things about
It's gonna have Polverine in it.
Polverine.
Polverine.
It rhymes with Polverine.
He has a pair of smooth criminals down under.
Oh my god. That's too...
So, Guardians of the Galaxy 3 focuses mainly on Rocket Raccoon's
and his
backstory.
origin and the High Evolutionary. And you know, before going into it, I told you I read the thing about where they said it's not really suited for kids, and I can see that, especially with all the Rocket Raccoon backstory scenes.
But that's it, though. It's not like anything else is really bad.
No, it's just that's really visually disturbing, especially the bunny. The bunny and the walrus are the worst.
You just don't like spiders.
No, I'm not even talking about.
Was there like a spider part of it?
So there's a bunny where the High Evolutionary is like
Mixes a bunny and a spider?
no, like
so he attaches like
robot parts.
to the animal.
Oh, okay, I got
and
it.
this rabbit has like spider legs, and it's like running
on its back. It's got. And here's the thing: what makes it more messed up is its legs are cut off.
Yeah,
It's regular legs,
yeah,
so
it
it's got
has legs.
stumps that it kicks around while it has spider going around. And he removed its mouth and put a speaker where its mouth is, so it's
kind of like Bane, kind of like a Bane.
And you're
mouth.
the one who always wanted to make land sharks. Shut up.
And the walrus
Yeah.
also. The walrus was kind of messed up too, where it has no eyelids. Its eyes are constantly open, and it's got tank treads instead of
So he's more of like a cyberneticist?
like some of his stuff. Like
He's not a genetics guy like he was in the comics.
He is.
But he was starting out with the robotics part to see if he could use machines to make him better.
Rocket Raccoon is the first one that he does.
He does
genetics to.
genetics
He
and
doesn't-
cybernetics, but less cybernetics than.
And then
His
Rocket Raccoon.
Because my baseline for all the Marvel movies is the comics, because I know them all basically. So
But yeah, he turns into a geneticist where he like creates actual whole communities genetic wise.
yeah, I gotcha. Because in the comic books he has
And then once they fail, he destroys the world and fucking makes another one.
Yeah. Like he does, like the High Evolutionary does.
he makes a whole world.
Yeah, remember he made the second Earth where it's all animal people?
That was technically another dimension, but whatever. I'm not gonna get into that.
But he does
Nerd.
that. He does that in this one.
Yeah.
It was like kind of like a pocket dimension. Anyway,
Anyways.
So
it's technically a pocket dimension.
So, anyways, this is after the blip. Star-Lord and Gamora aren't together. Star-Lord's still caught
Because
up.
it's a Gamora from another multiverse.
Yes, correct.
Yeah, from another
So
universe.
Star-Lord's still caught up on Gamora, but Gamora doesn't know who the hell he is. So it's this...
And he's not smart enough to start over again.
Right.
And he's not smart enough to start over.
No, he keeps trying to bring her back to who she was, and she's like, "I'm not that person." Like, Jesus, let her
Yeah,
go.
get the hit, buddy.
Right.
You gotta start over.
And she's a Ravager now. She's with the Ravengers.
Yeah.
Yeah. They had a lot of Cosmo in it. The space dog,
Why?
because part
Is
of the
he sentient?
yeah, he's it's
So he's kind of like I forget his name. There's a DC Comics
Oh, he
character.
gets called a bad dog.
yeah.
And he gets really mad that he gets called a bad dog.
There's another character in DC who's like something this Wonder Dog, who basically can like ride a horse as a dog for some reason.
Crypto. There's Crypto.
No, this is a different guy.
Okay, but
He's like Captain America, but as a dog. It's weird. Anyway, I'm not gonna get into it.
They introduced a lot of characters. Nothing super. Like, they did a great job on High Evolutionary on how crazy he is with all his stuff. They did a great job with him. They made him the way he needed to be. Adam Warlock was kind
That's
of...
the only thing you didn't like about the movie.
Yeah, he was...
They
Like,
didn't make him different enough from the gold people to make it worthwhile.
no. And they made him super dumb.
Because
the actor they chose, you know how he plays the dumb kid in that movie, You All Get Paid, you know, where they make the meme, you guys get this?
Mm-hmm.
That's exactly who he is through most of the movie. What? I'm dumb. Like, and what they went with, because I re-looked up Adam Warlock's origin, is when he first came out of the pod, he didn't really understand everything, but he wasn't dumb.
Well, they mentioned that in the movie. She says you brought him out of the pod too.
Early, but but I'm saying when they even in the comic books, he came out, even though he got his full pod thing, it was just he was never alive before, so he started out as a man, so he doesn't quite understand everything. But it wasn't he was dumb about it. It was just kind of more like,
New. Everything was new.
everything was new.
Yeah, right.
Like where this one where he's like stupid and like make him talk and he blows up that guy like instantaneously.
Right.
He was a lot smarter than that. Where they made him kind of more
So
dumb.
I go back to the. We always go back to this. Is it's not the actor's fault. It's the writing.
It is the writing, but it's also the actor, because when they pick these actors, they could have, because they have an idea. When they start writing these scripts, they kind of have an idea of who they want for it.
How is it the actor's fault? It's never the actor's fault, unless the actor's a terrible actor.
Yeah, and I think he's a terrible actor, so...
Well, that's your opinion, I guess. My problem is, because I haven't seen it, but visually, he looks too much like the gold people from the second one, which means it doesn't look different enough to make him Adam Warlock.
Yeah.
Because Adam Warlock looks like the gold people, but he's like more imposing and more serious. He's not just some, I don't know, Twinkie looking, wuss, like he looks like in the movie to me. I'm like, he's
pretty muscular in the movie.
Yeah.
Well, that's more the costume.
He actually worked out. He actually worked out and got buff for that movie, dude. He's not them.
I'm just going by.
He's not that scrawny little teenager you're thinking of in that movie anymore.
I'm just going by the face. I
Like
don't really know,
he
man.
got. He actually worked
I'm
out
looking
and got
at
big for
like
it.
yeah, he's a lot bigger, but if you look at the costume here, some of that is costume. Like not all of it. I will give you that. It's not all of it, but there's still costume in that. And I hate this guy.
But there's no reason for you to dislike him.
He looks stupid. How about that? I don't like the look of his face.
Just because he's not on your list, you don't like him.
Exactly.
Something's wrong here.
Like I said, I didn't see the movie, so I really can't make a judgment. I'm just going by the trailer.
I think we round this circle a lot. It's writing. I'm sorry, they didn't write that part thinking he was going to be the actor. They wrote that part and then had him try out for it.
Because you write a script, you figure out what you think in your mind what he's supposed to look like,
You're right.
and then try to find a person who looks the most like it. You can't really, you know what I'm saying? So it's the guy's fault who wrote the damn thing, or the producers who wanted maybe somebody different or somebody cheaper or somebody that they like better for some reason.
Yeah.
So I just think he looked too much in the around the face like the gold people. I forget what they're called.
Well, they're all that way.
Well, that's
like
what I'm saying.
His mother
what
is
he
that
should
way.
what
Yeah.
he should have did was made him look like, because he has more power than them, make him look a little bit different.
They don't even. I guess they do kind of go into the power thing. He is stronger than most of them.
Because he has like
Yeah.
he has like weird quantum magic or something or other.
Yeah, and that's the other thing is how they have him in the movie is very much depowered from what he
Well,
actually
they
is.
depowered everybody.
Well,
Thor-
no,
no. In the whole Marvel universe, they've depowered everybody.
Okay,
Thor
fair
is
enough.
way less powerful than he is in the comics.
That's fair.
He could
But
freaking break
in
a
this
planet.
movie, they
if he-
ramped up Drax. They ramped up Drax and Mantis. They ramped up their power set.
Why?
Don't know.
Because Drax was kind of useless, I guess. But
Yeah, like he was kind of like average level, but he was just always jumping into stuff. Now they like really super powered him up, like physically. Like he was doing a lot more heavy duty stuff than he did in the other movies.
yeah,
The dynamic between him and Mantis was always great through the movie.
Yeah, I did through both movies that they were in together. I think
Yeah.
it's pretty good.
Like the second movie was very much he was being in touch with her as a person, and then they had like a little dynamic duo thing.
And the third one, yeah.
Yeah, and then she's like, I gotta go be independent.
I thought it was a good cast off.
Yeah, because to be honest, none of them want to come back and do Guardians again.
Yes, they do.
I thought you said the chick.
The
who
only
played-
ones that don't are Gamora and Drax.
which they're pretty big parts of the Guardians.
I mean, not now.
not now.
Not really. If you think about the ending,
Yeah.
Gamora goes off to be a Ravager and is not
Yeah.
a part of the Guardians
And
anymore.
and Drax is off doing whatever he's
Yeah,
doing.
right. So it's not that big.
Well, no,
So-
Drax is still around because he's taking care of all those kids.
well, they just took a Gamora from a universe where she has a terrible attitude.
Right. Correct.
Yeah. She's just a dick.
She's just a dick, as far as I
So-
could tell.
So it's easy to write her off.
Yeah.
And they've already said at the end of the movie, they said he's going to come back and play
Yeah.
Star-Lord. So you know he's coming back.
Well, I figure Chris Pratt will. no
What's her
matter what.
name that plays who's the sister? The cyborg.
Oh, what is that chick's name?
Anyways, she said she'd come back.
Yeah,
Nebula.
Nebula, yeah.
Yeah, I mean she's like there's some of them I know are gonna come back no matter what, but there was complaints all the way around. Like there was a lot of complaints, but that's coming from almost every actor that works in the Marvel unit.
Yeah, well, because they act like. Cause the main thing I hear from most actors when they work with the Marvel and Disney is that they get treated like children, like they can't keep secrets. Like they take their phones from them, they don't give them the right scripts. Like they'll give them one script and they think that that's the script, and they'll go in to do their shots and they're like, well, here's a new script. And they change stuff up on them so much that they try to keep everything so secret that even the actors don't know what's going on from day to day.
Yeah.
That's what they say they don't like.
yeah, and it's dumb. It's get over it. Like,
Well, because
and I know, like
because
they
they don't
also
want
have
anything getting leaked.
yeah, but then they also have the things about like if you speak certain ways, Disney will like try to ruin your.
Well, that's why listen,
What about political
Ryan-
opinions and woke stuff?
Ryan
Yeah.
Reynolds, when Deadpool came out, Ryan Reynolds literally said he will play Deadpool as long as they let him play Deadpool.
Yeah.
As soon as Disney bought Fox and they tried negotiating the Deadpool thing, Ryan Reynolds came out and said, "This is my last Deadpool." That goes to show you how much of a pain they are.
Yeah.
Plus, they want to make everything PG-13 or whatever.
Yeah, right.
And Deadpool cannot be PG-13.
And he refuses.
And be good.
He refuses to do a PG. He said that. He said, "I refuse. I will
It
not
has
do a
to be
PG."
rated R.
That's what he
Yeah.
said.
That's the only way it's good.
He
Right.
said that. He goes, "I will not do a PG-13
No.
Deadpool."
It's just like a Daredevil and She-Hulk. They made him flip around more, and he wasn't nearly as brutal.
Yeah,
He was like flippy and stuff.
and more like cartoony superhero.
Right? He was doing vertical leaps. He had no chance. Because like in the regular Daredevil series, it was just normal human
Right.
ability stuff.
Yeah, but
Granted,
highly
it was a stunt actor doing it, but the guy was well trained, but he wasn't like I don't know.
Captain America flipping
Jump
over.
into the touching the back of a backboard when he's 5'10".
Right.
You know, it's not happening.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I just know that when you hear actors complain, it's because of stuff like that. And Ryan Reynolds it's kind of disappointing because he said, "I'll play Deadpool until they make me stop."
Yeah.
And then Disney got it, and he was like, "This is my last one, guys. Sorry, bye."
Fucking Disney.
And like you said, you can't own you can't try to own the whole movie universe and then try to make everything PG-13. It's just not how it works.
Yeah.
Because there's certain characters, it's just like making the Punisher PG-13. It doesn't work.
No.
His best stories are about real stuff. Now, granted, they're in the comic books, they're way over. There's way too much violence comparatively.
Yeah. Like, and there's some stuff they usually
The best way to do the Punisher would probably be like just take what journalists saw in Afghanistan
Right.
during newscasts and try to make the film like that.
Yeah.
Because it's all real stuff for him.
Right.
Yeah. Or leave it like the Punisher series did, where it was, you know, some crazy stuff happened, but it was always in a level of like realistic, like PMCs and
Right. It's odd that they want to make everything PG-13.
because
I understand Disney is what you think of for like kids and stuff.
and that's
But if you're gonna go and buy Fox and everything else, you have to understand that you can't do PG-13 for everything.
everything, yeah, because it's not going to work. They just don't want to listen now. They want to make movies that can hit every demographic so they can make as much money off everything as possible. So
Here's a weird thing. This is kind of to do with Deadpool. Because of technically Ryan Reynolds is a writer for the Deadpool 3 movie.
Yeah, he's not allowed to improv.
He's not allowed to improv.
He's not allowed to improv. Yeah, I read that.
That's weird. And also Hugh Jackman's not allowed to improv because he's part of the Writers Guild too. Because he's written a bunch of musicals and
Yeah,
stuff.
he said that's the biggest thing right now with doing the movie is because of that. Because in the first two Deadpools, he did a lot of improv.
yeah.
That right now, he's not allowed to do that.
So do you think Deadpool 3 will be good, or do you think it's gonna?
They're gonna. They're probably gonna have.
Ryan Reynolds won't let it.
They're probably gonna have to do a ton of reshoots
Yes.
if they get the strike over.
I don't think Ryan Reynolds will let it be
Terrible.
bad.
Because basically all
But
they
I'm
have.
saying, do you think it's gonna be as strong as the first two?
I think
it will. Absolutely. I think him and Hugh Jackman are gonna have fun with it.
Yeah.
Well, because like I said, it's depending how long the writer's strike thing lasts. If it lasts too long, when are they gonna? Because all the reshoots are gonna be dialogue parts.
Right.
It's not gonna be the action parts.
Right.
And if you do have action parts that you need dialogue of, they always do it in the booth or whatever.
Yeah. Correct.
Yeah.
So, because all his stuff, action stuff, is a stunt guy and a CGI face.
Right.
Fair enough.
So.
Yeah, I think it'll be good. I don't think Ryan Reynolds will let. I don't think Ryan Reynolds will let there be a bad Deadpool.
Because his whole fortune is based on that movie.
Yeah.
Right.
And,
Now, granted,
and
he,
Mint Mobile.
he owns like a gin company and Mint Mobile and
And
a
a
soccer
soccer
team
team,
now,
yeah.
but still.
And
But
listen, he'll be fine. He's still probably cashing in Van Wilder checks.
no, without a doubt.
Shut up with a Van Wilder.
I liked Van Wilder.
Now, granted, that was the movie that put his.
Just Friends was funny. Just Friends was a funny movie.
I don't think he's had very many bad movies.
He did
The Proposal was like
The
one of the worst of his.
Proposal was alright though.
It wasn't-
I'm saying out of all his, that was definitely the lower side of his career.
Now the Green Lantern is the lower side.
Oh,
of his
that is
career.
the absolute lowest. Oh my god, I blanked that out.
That wasn't his fault, though.
No, again, a writer thing.
Yeah, it was.
He even said when he looked at it, he asked the director if he could do some changing around, and the director told him no. He was like, absolutely not. This is the script. This is what
The
you do.
problem with the Green Lantern movie is it wasn't sincere enough. Because I don't think Ryan Reynolds was the right choice for the movie in the first place.
No, not as
Mostly
Gal
because
Gadot.
he's too much of a jokester kind of thing.
Right.
And Green Lantern makes jokes, but that's just because he's nervous or wants to
Yeah.
look cool.
Right.
That, and like I
But
said,
it's not a joke thing. He doesn't do it all the time.
Right.
yeah,
you know.
like
Once he gets serious, he gets serious. It's over.
yeah,
I do love
like
the part.
Kyle Rayner.
I do love the end of Deadpool when he like
Shoots him in the head.
He goes and shoots him in the head, and he looks at the tree and goes, "There, you happy? I fixed it." And he walks away.
No, he was going to the Wolverine movie and he shot the Deadpool in the head. He goes, "I'm fixing the timeline."
Yeah, and then it shows him he's sitting in his
He goes,
desk.
Ryan
Reynolds
Reynolds,
picks
He's
up
got a script.
He
of
goes,
Green
"This is
Lantern."
gold." Blows his brains out.
Well, there was a couple Ryan Reynolds ones, like when he had his, when he was cuddling up with what's her name, the black lady. He goes, "It's like if Ryan Reynolds really made it with his superior acting method."
You think Ryan Reynolds made it with a superior acting method? No, he got away with his good looks and his charm.
But he's self-aware enough to know that.
It's hilarious though. That's why I love him. He's fucking hilarious.
And he's self-aware. That's what I like. He doesn't take himself
Seriously, yeah,
super serious.
Right. He's not one of those actors that will snap and be a dick for no reason. He don't care.
Because even his interviews on press tours are different because he'll ignore the question.
Well, like,
Because there's like the same question like 100 times.
right.
So he'll be like, "Okay, can we talk about something else?
Yeah.
I want to talk about this."
I don't. He just reminds me of something like if you watch like things on like Hugh Jackman and him and stuff, like they always play practical jokes on each other.
Yeah.
They're always pranking each other and stuff.
Well, like I was watching stuff with that. They always play, and I was also watching Days of Future Past when they were talking about them, like when Michael Fassbender and oh my god, I can't, James McAvoy.
Yeah.
They were sitting there shooting each other with BB guns throughout the set.
Right.
And they had to keep getting makeup to fix all their because they shoot each other in the face and they have welts and stuff, so they had to put extra makeup on. He's like, he goes, we were doing shit like, we locked McAvoy in his trailer, and we were up in the Raptors shooting down BBs.
Well, that's what I mean. That's what Ryan Reynolds and Hugh Jackman are. That's just
But I've noticed the more that they have, the better the movie comes out when you have actual
friends and connections.
Connections in there. Like,
That's why I think this is going to be a good movie.
Yeah.
I also don't think Ryan Reynolds would have let it be a bad movie, but because he has Hugh Jackman with him, someone who he is
connected to
and he's friends with, I think it's going to be a good dynamic.
Yeah. All right. So
Ryan Reynolds pitched a Deadpool and Bambi crossover, but Disney shut it down.
Yeah, I can understand why, I think.
Yeah. So at that point, we're gonna call that a show. That's good. If we take a lesson from anything today, is fuck Ezra Miller. He just ruined Batman Beyond.
Yeah.
Fuck that guy.
Fuck that guy.
We already knew that. We talked about it enough.
Yeah. All right. Have a good night.
Have a good night.
See ya.